What's up, guys? Welcome to my top 5 Warlock exotics video, where I'll show off my 5 favorite Warlock exotics for both PvE and PvP. Most of them obviously PvE because that's mainly what I do. So we'll just get right into this. At number 5, I have the Transversive Steps. And I like these ones a lot for both PvP and PvE. Basically what they do is, while sprinting, movement speed is increased and energy weapons are automatically reloaded. So the movement speed increase is basically the equivalent of equipping a Mida, or a weapon with lightweight. But you don't need one of those weapons to get that boost. Then also when you're sprinting, your energy weapon gets reloaded, and it's a certain percent every few seconds. I think we'll see here in a second, but it takes a while to get the entire mag back, but it's just something that you don't really notice on the side. It'll just kind of be there, and it's kind of nice. But what I use them for is the movement speed, and these are the only exotics I use in PvP. Then in PvE, I almost always run these except when I'm at a boss fight. Once you have these equipped, you have the equivalent of like a Mida movement speed, but you can also double it by using a Mida / lightweight primary, or weapon I should say, and get the effect doubled. So as you can see, I'll shoot some bullets out of my energy weapon, that way it reloads while I'm running. And also you can see my movement speed increase. It is very noticeable, especially when you're running next to someone that doesn't have movement speeds on. For example, most Titans can't really get that many movement speeds, or Warlocks not using these exotics. You'll definitely notice the difference. But as you can see, on this specific weapon, I reloaded 4 every like 4-ish seconds, it feels like. And at number 4, I have the Winter's Gill exotic gauntlets. What they do is eliminating enemies with melee attacks increase your melee damage, and this is a buff that stacks up to 5 times. And every time it stacks, it multiplies by that number your damage. So if you have ×2, then it'll multiply your melee damage by 2, then all the way up to 5. So when you get up to ×5, your melee damage is 5 times stronger than it is at base value. So it's pretty situational, but if you're in a place with a lot of ad clear, like low tier ads and all that, and especially if you're using Devour Warlock, which if you're not using Devour Warlock, I don't know what you're doing. But it works pretty well together, because every single kill you're gonna get your health back. Then also every melee kill is gonna get a little bit stronger. It is kind of hard to chain, and that's why you need a situation where you have a lot of low tier ads. But once you get up there in the chain, it really starts to do some damage. Like once you get into like ×4, ×5, you'll be one-shotting majors. So it's pretty nice. Like here's 2 majors right here. I'll try to get a chain going and see how much damage I can do to them. Like, look at these chunks. I just took off, literally, how many hits was that? It was not that many, and he died, and that's a high value target. So once you can start chaining these melees, it's unbelievably good, and that's why, even if it's very situational, I will still put it in my top 5. Coming at number 3, I have the Nezzer Sin. It is an exotic helmet that gives you void damage kills, increased ability, energy recharge rate. And what it means by void damage, that means any source of void damage, which includes weapons and obviously grenades, melees, and all that. So obviously that pairs really well with Voidwalker, and not only Voidwalker, because you can just run void weapons and get the same benefits. And it is a small chunk of stuff that you get back, but since it procs on weapons, also obviously it has to be small chunks, because you can get a lot of weapon kills in a short period of time. But it's one of those things that if you're not really worried about the fast movement speed, this is a nice thing to use. that you'll notice the benefit of it pretty quickly. So if I just throw down my grenade and rift and start killing some stuff, you can see it moves faster once I get a kill. This one isn't a chunk instantly back. It increases the recharge rate, so it won't be super noticeable. But on the left side of my screen, you can see it pop up the perk. Then it lasts for about a second, and you can see that the abilities, you know, recharge quicker in that 1 second. It takes a handful of kills, but since it includes obviously weapon kills, it has to be like that. But I'm just sitting here killing a few things, not really killing anything efficiently, and I've gotten my stuff back in what, 30-ish seconds. So it's definitely, if you're not using one of the other exotics mentioned in this video for like their specific reasons, this is a good all-purpose exotic to use. I really like it. Coming in at number 2, we have the Lunafaction boots. Now these are probably the best team-oriented boots and exotics for warlocks in the game. What they do is your rift gains the additional ability to automatically reload allies' weapons. So anyone that walks into your rift with these boots on, they will instantly get all their 3 weapons reloaded. Not just the one they have equipped, all 3 weapons will be reloaded. And you can proc this as many times as you want while your rift is active. You just have to walk out of the rift and back into it, or you can jump up and back down. If you're a hunter, for example, in one of these rifts, just doing a double jump real quick is probably the most efficient way. Titan and Warlock, you kind of have to just strafe left and right as you get low in your weapons. But like I said, it's very good for team-oriented stuff like the raid, for boss fights, strikes. It's by far the best exotic for all those things. And in patrol, it's kind of hard to show you off like how to do it efficiently and all that, but I'll just show you how to shoot some stuff out of my weapons. It doesn't look like I do have something to reload for my shotgun. So as you can see, all these weapons need reloaded. Put down my rift, back up to 15, back up to 10, and all the way to 6. And as I can shoot straight in and out, and basically never have to reload. And it's already gone. But as you can see, and as you can imagine, that obviously greatly benefited me, but you can, all 6 of your teammates in a raid can be doing the same thing off that one rift. So it's really good, and I actually recommend it the most on Stormcaller with Arc Soul. Basically your rift becomes a very powerful tool. Coming in at number 1, we have the Karnstein or Karnstein armlets. These are gauntlets for the Warlock, obviously, because that's what the video is about. I don't know why I keep on saying that. That give you melee attacks, grant health recovery, melee, grenade, and class ability energy. So that's health and all 3 abilities. And when it says melee attacks, that means any melee hit. That doesn't mean kill. That doesn't mean actual full ability charged melee. It means just every single hit gives you a chunk of health and all 3 abilities back. And I put these on number 1 because they are just overall, they'll never not be useful. They're good for everything, every situation. You're almost in, no matter what you're doing, there's always something to melee. If you're playing PvP and you get into a melee fight with someone, you will win because you will get health back every time you melee them. And then in PvE, especially if you're playing Devourer where you're playing aggressive, you're almost constantly going to be meleeing stuff, especially once you have these on, you're going to go out of your way to melee stuff. And you'll just sit there with a major and win a melee battle with them because you'll get health back on every kill, on every hit, I mean. Then you get a chunk of all 3 abilities, so just casually playing PvE, before you know it, you'll have all of your abilities back. And you'll feel unstoppable because you'll keep on getting health back. Now, let's be straight, it's just little tiny chunks of all 4 things every single time, but you can melee over and over and over again. So it adds up very quickly. It's kind of like the helmet I showed in this top 5, but better because it gives you health also. And not to mention it's bigger chunks of all the abilities back. So I'll put down my grenade and rift and just go around and start meleeing stuff. I guess I have Devour procced, but I'm not. So as you can see, I got my grenade back faster because I have Devour procced, but you can see my rift is already half. I just killed a few things. I'm gonna let my Devour run out so I can try to show you the health recovery also. But just like the helmet I showed earlier, it's not huge, like broken huge, where you're gonna get all of your stuff back super insanely fast. But it's just something that on the side that will benefit you pretty greatly over time. Alright, I lost my Devour, so let me try to take some damage from someone. See if there's stuff in this room. There is not. This guy should do some damage. Alright. Oh, Devour again. The Warlock is Warlock is just too good. You see this? You see how this can chain? I melee them to get my abilities back faster, which means I have another Devour to use. It's literally just an endless chain. As you can, it's kind of hard to see when I was recovering right there, but this gives a little chunk back. Try to get hit one more time. As you can see, it's just a tiny chunk, but it's something. But overall, these are my favorite exotics in the game, especially when paired with Devour. Because Devour procs on grenade and melee kill. Then obviously with these, you're going to be meleeing a lot, which means you get your abilities back, which also means you can proc Devour again quicker. And basically, you're getting health back on Devour proc and melee proc. So it's literally impossible to die, and you will have all abilities up so often. It's quite stupid. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my top 5 Warlock exotics. If you guys would like to see a top 10 weapons, including legendaries and exotics, I'll make that one too, because I have a lot of different setups I use, and I think some people would be interested in that. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.